Hello everyone and welcome back to Crypto Live Leak. I'm Ken and today we have the pleasure to review the platform and token EOS, the most powerful infrastructure for decentralized applications. And the EOS platform definitely aims to be scalable, flexible, and usable. If we go over to CoinMarketCap and check out the price of EOS, we see it's hovering just south of $6 per coin. Now this EOS token is currently an ERC20 token, but later this year in 2018 they do plan to move to a token supported solely by their own blockchain. They aim to be a main competitor to Ethereum and other platforms that can create smart contracts and basically have unlimited scalability for decentralized applications. EOS was also famously noted in 2017 as being one of the largest ICOs. In 2017 we saw prices of the EOS ERC20 token dip to around 50 cents at their lows. At their highs, the price was over $15. So currently, we're about 66% off the high. The EOS.io software and platform is maintained by the block.one team. If we head over to their website, we can check out more about them. And here, we can watch one of their introductory videos and get to know the team a little bit better behind EOS.
A lot of other projects have gone straight into building a general purpose platform without any experience in building specific applications before. And I think that is a faulty order process.
It took years of experience from building two special cases before I could realize how to generalize it by identifying what's been in common between BitShares and Steem.
The idea of a general purpose blockchain is to provide the things that all decentralized applications have in common. So it reduces or makes it as easy as possible to launch one of these businesses.
This is a very, very new industry, and no one quite knew what the problems were or how to solve it.
One of the biggest problems we have in the space now is that building decentralized applications is extremely difficult, and there's very few people that have the required proficiencies to do it all themselves. The idea of EOS is that if you're able to build a basic website, you should be able to launch a decentralized business.
Alright guys, that was great stuff. So it seems like they have a young and competent team. Let's take a look at their technical white paper available on GitHub. And going down the white paper here, we see that the EOS.io software introduces a new blockchain architecture designed to enable vertical and horizontal scaling of decentralized applications. And just as a disclaimer, they do say here that the EOS.io technical white paper is for information purposes only. So going through some of their background here, we see they reference the faults and accomplishments of some of early blockchain projects such as BitShares in 2014 and the social media platform Steemit in 2016. Employees here with EOS had involvement with these platforms previous to coming up with the EOS idea. They learned from the innovations that these platforms brought, and they also learned from the downfalls and pitfalls encountered while using these early platforms. And for their project, EOS.io software, they've come up with some main requirements in order to gain widespread use of their blockchain application platform. Some of those requirements include the ability to support millions of users, free storage, easy upgrades to the system and bug recovery, low latency when you have communications between peers, sequential performance with the ability to scale to an unlimited potential, as well as parallel performance where large-scale applications have the ability to divide workloads across multiple CPUs. So getting into the EOS consensus algorithm, they use delegated proof of stake, which is the only algorithm they feel capable that meets the performance requirements for the blockchain application they are developing. Using the EOS.io software, blocks are produced in rounds of 21. At the start of each round, 21 unique block producers are chosen. These 21 block producers are critical when it comes to verifying transactions on the EOS.io network. It goes in here to the responsibilities of these 21 block producers and also what happens to them if they're caught acting bad or in a malicious way. It goes into transaction confirmations and block confirmation times, which can be under a second, and we have multiple thousands of transactions per second on their testnet currently out. In the future, EOS.io software aims to provide unlimited scalability to these decentralized applications, and unlimited scalability to transactions per second processed by the block producers. Some of what makes EOS unique include its permission levels and the ability to identify certain levels of permission as headers within their structure. They allow you to create members of a family, including friends, that can act as an admin to your created workspace. After those permission levels have been verified, those admins are able to change your original thread. As you can see in this diagram here, there's a breakdown of layers within the protocol. So they do allow certain ways for the recovery of private keys. There are the ability for the block producers to decide to hard fork the network, and they can also solve certain issues without hard fork, coming to a consensus when 17 out of 21 producers all agree. There is also great talk of parallel execution of these decentralized applications, which would theoretically lead to faster transaction speed and faster verification process. Now for the somewhat exciting part. Let's get into the token model and the research usage explanation. There are 3 broad classes of resources that are consumed on the EOS.io software. First, we have bandwidth and log storage, disk. Next, we have computation and computational backlog, CPU. And finally, we have state storage, RAM. So the market will take these factors into consideration when coming up with a market price for the EOS token. Now, as mentioned earlier, the EOS token as it currently sits is an ERC20 compatible token. It is not the finalized version of the EOS token meant to be used on the EOS.io software platform. There'll be a token swap for the native token on that platform happening this year in 2018. We'll get into that shortly. It's important to note here that the block.one team maintains its position that the user should not have to pay to interact with the blockchain or decentralized applications. So if you create a decentralized application, you'll be required to hold the EOS tokens in order to pay for bandwidth and usage of the data available on the network. These tokens will come with some sort of delegation capacity where you'll be able to elect or vote for the top 21 block producers. If the decentralized application requires a certain amount of bandwidth or data usage for their platform, they'll be able to hold tokens in a certain percentage based to the total supply, and they'll be able to access that percentage of the bandwidth available on the network. So as the EOS.io network grows, the bandwidth available on that network grows with it. Now, the holder of the EOS token should not need to worry about the price volatility of that token. They're only interested in a certain amount of bandwidth that they can access, and that's available to them based on the percentage of tokens they hold comparative to the overall total supply. So as long as you have bandwidth at a consistent or increasing ratio, they will never have to actually worry about the price of the EOS token. It's important to note that the block rewards will not exceed 5% per annum. So these are the rewards that would be given to the block producers that will be further given and delegated down based on token holders that have voted for those block producers. The only thing I can think out there that's somewhat comparable to this method to me would be Lisk and how they offer a delegate voting process in order to enact a forging process, which then leads to token rewards given out to the holders and the participants. So with EOS.io software, they do offer a governance model. So the 21 block producers are the main enactors of governance within this system. So if 17 out of 21 of them agree to a proposed governance change, then that would take effect. This includes bug fixes. So there's also a process here where you have to wait some 30 days, and all 17 of 21 of those block producers need to vote in favor throughout that course of the 30 days, and then thereafter it does take some period of time, 7 days to additional time, in order for that change to be enacted throughout the EOS.io software. More technical changes can take between 2 and 3 months. In the case of an emergency change, there are ways that these 21 block producers can hold emergency votes in order to enact quicker changes to the EOS.io software. So compare this to Tezos and their self-amending ledger. I would say that EOS has the ability to do some of the same things, but their time frame is certainly on a larger scale. And possibly if they could keep implementing improvements to their system, governance would be an area where they could reduce the time frame that needs to pass in order for upgrades to the system to be implemented. So these 21 block producers are very important here. They also have the ability to freeze an account. They can freeze accounts that are acting malicious or unpredictable. And it's again 17 out of 21 of them have to agree. Here in the white paper it does go into virtual machines, and they can tie into some of the upgrades incorporated to the system here, and it looks like they want to incorporate with Ethereum's virtual machine. So this is some of the core protocol of the EOS.io software. Here it also talks about how the peers and the block producers in the network will talk with each other in terms of latency. So when there's cross-chain communication, these producers don't need to verify the cross-chain's entire blockchain. So basically they look at headers that are verified with a certain amount of proofs, and they're much more quickly able to interact with these blockchains in parallel. So Merkle proofs for light client validation. So in conclusion, the white paper for EOS provides us with insight into the EOS.io software, which is designed from experience and proven concepts and best practices. EOS represents fundamental advantages within blockchain technology. This software provides a holistic blueprint for a global, scalable blockchain, society in which decentralized applications can be easily deployed and governed. All right, great to get through that white paper, guys. Let's check out some of the other EOS GitHub repositories. As you see here in this repository, there's over 250 open issues ranging anywhere from wallet errors to core protocol development. And it's also, let's also note they have more than 3,000 commits to this project. And it's all fully open source here on GitHub. I'll provide the link below. Moving over to Etherscan, just want to check out how many token holders they have to see how diversified the token holdings actually are. Again, this is of the ERC20 token, EOS. We see there are over 290,000 token holders, and the top of the holders pretty diversified as well. It's not usual to see a token this diversified, this well spread out and decentralized throughout the community. So this is definitely a positive sign. Heading on over to the EOS Medium, we see the team had some recent releases and updates. So what they've dubbed as Dawn 2.0 is a release of their software where there's a testnet available and you can test your decentralized applications in the live world. So this Dawn 2.0 testnet is going to have a lot of bugs. It's meant to basically have, it was really just meant to prove the following items. That the team had developed a P2P network code, a WASM sanitation, and CPU sandboxing. They wanted to have resource usage tracking and rate limiting. They also did Genesis import testing and inter-blockchain communication. So these are some of the things we touched on in the white paper, and this was their, and this has been their response releasing this Dawn 2.0 software. Another Medium article, and their most recent Medium article is an announcement on Dawn 3.0. So this is actually bigger news, bigger announcement. This is where you're going to actually be able to trade in some of your EOS ERC20 tokens for the native EOS token for their EOS.io software platform, the actual real deal. So this Dawn 3.0 is a further updated system to what they had released previously with Dawn 2.0. And they expect this to be available to the public testnet at the end of Q1 2018. And just before we check out some of their social media accounts, I want you to note that there is a post on Reddit that will fully explain to you how to register your ERC20 EOS Ethereum-based tokens to the EOS platform. So when they do have the snapshot in June 2018, you'll qualify for the native tokens on that EOS.io software platform, the real deal, the real tokens. So I'll put that link as well in the comment section below so you can go ahead and register your tokens to make sure you're all set when this thing switches over to a live version. So lastly, I always like to check out the Twitter for these companies just to see how big of a following we have. And here there's actually over 122,000 followers for EOS. Their most recent post is about that Dawn 3.0, and we'll have that linked below. But just an absolutely huge community here on Twitter, here on Reddit as well, and other social platforms. They have a Facebook site, but just absolutely massive token holder distribution and decentralized. And their token holders it's absolutely massive as well, over 290,000, very decentralized, very diversified.
Alright guys, and for me the best place to buy EOS tokens would be on Binance. You can register for a Binance account using my referral link below, or if you already have one, just head on over to Binance and search for the pair. You could do this pair either Bitcoin or Ethereum, but you're just looking for EOS, currently trading in the high fives, and then here you would go into the market and place a buy order on this side here, buy EOS, and you could buy that with either Bitcoin or Ethereum using Binance, and again my referral link is below. Okay, and now my favorite part of the reviews, this is promotion time. Okay guys, so if we get 2,000 or more subscribers to our YouTube channel by the end of March 2018, we will award 5 lucky winners 1 EOS token each. Also, they will be rewarded with 1,000 CLL tokens. To enter into this promotion, just paste your ERC20 compatible Ethereum wallet address below in the comments of this video. Good luck!
So in my conclusion for this review, some things I wanted to note is that the market cap is already in the multiple billions. So this is a token that's the top 9, top 10 consistently on coin market cap. And it's an operating system. It's a platform, smart contracts platform that has interoperable qualities. It seems like it's going to be a major competitor with Ethereum. Their focus is on fast transactions per second, unlimited scalability. They implement governance. Their proof of stake algorithm. It seems like they're going to be a big player in this next wave of platform blockchain 3.0 development. And seeing that its current price is basically 66% off its high. We have been in a huge bear market for cryptocurrencies, but I see this as still a buy. I'd be buying this from here until the next bull run in cryptocurrency. But again, I am not a financial advisor. I would definitely make this, one of the core positions of a diversified portfolio, seeing as you always want to hold platform coins, since those do seem to be the most valuable, and they do have the most use case, especially in this case where the tokens are actually going to be sold as bandwidth and basically data storage for decentralized applications. And the cool thing about these tokens, I didn't mention earlier, however, if you hold them and you're not using them for your own bandwidth, for your own decentralized application, that you'll actually be able to lend them out at a certain rate where people will pay you in turns for borrowing your EOS tokens so they can run bandwidth of their own through the system. So I hope this video is very informative for you guys. I hope you know a lot more about EOS, and thank you to the EOS community for reaching out to me, giving me a little bit of inside information. If you're in Rome, look on their Telegram channel. They do have some sort of Rome meetup where they're going to do a play about cryptocurrencies and EOS in specific. So that's kind of exciting. I'll look forward to that. Thank you very much, guys, for the support. Don't forget to follow us in all of our social media channels, Crypto Live Leak, and our Telegram channel as well. A lot of good things happening in there. Until next time, guys, take care.